Good evening. Good evening. Before I start, I want to just a couple observations. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me and inviting all the speakers. It's very inspiring, illuminating. I would like to hear from more white people about growth. Because you folks have a little bit of input into this. And I think that, it seems reasonable. It's cool, definitely cool to hear all the diverse voices of color. That's very important, it's compelling. But sometimes, we have to have these different perspectives simply to coalition build, strategize, and if we find some common goals, common narratives to work together. And so I think that that's something that, is missing when we focus a little bit too much on I love melanin. I love seeing all the brown folks. But I also would like to hear some of the perspectives and some of the alternating perspectives. Maybe some people think that just unbridled growth is a good thing. I want to hear from them as well and hear their arguments. So anyway, that's just some thoughts. Hi. This first picture is of a current battle for and against growth that is happening in Cannonball, North Dakota, on the Standing Rock Lakota Nation homelands. That's cool. You guys just gotta give me a little more time, though. Could you go back to that? If you're gonna clap, I'm gonna ask for more time. Regarding a company and a state that wants to grow their respective economies, and a nation of people who feel that the company and state's growth comes at theirs and the future's expense. I can't be mad at either goal. That's not the worst thing in the world. Hell, I want my own personal economy to grow. But within America, laissez-faire economics combined with systematic undervaluing of certain discrete communities ensures that growth is always a battle. You missed that. I'll repeat. Just like in Cannonball, North Dakota, or Seattle Central District, or downtown Seattle in 1855 when Native people were kicked out from the city of Seattle, growth is always a battlefield. It will always be within America because it always has been within America. Americans just do not seem to play nice with each other. The reason why it will always be a battlefield is because the story of growth is a chauvinist story. It's a frustrating story. It's an inhumane story because of the story of growth is always just one half of the story. The way that Western economics has framed it, land is a zero-sum game. According to white capitalism, resources are a zero-sum game. There seems to be no quarter given for collaboration, cooperation, only competition. And for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Therefore, under that competitive framework, for every square inch, every square foot, every square acre of growth, there is likewise a square inch, a foot, or an acre that is taken from somebody else. For every piece of growth, there is someone who no longer has what they previously owned. There is a displacement, a snipping, a circumcision of what one previously knew. That does not mean that the displacement is necessarily good, or that it's necessarily bad, or indifferent. Yet, to not recognize that there are two sides to every story of growth is to make the mistake of Western history, Western politics, and Western economics. To see only through the lens of the capable, the privileged, the moneyed, and the powerful. And we have to tell a more complete story. There is no impactless growth. We readily tell the story of beautification, of improvement, and those are fair stories to tell. But we do not often tell, in equal parts, the stories of conquest, of domination, of manifest destiny, In the same way that the capable and privileged white man was told to go west, young man, there you will find your destiny. There is no one there. You will improve the character of that barren land. The land is in disrepair. Those Indians only occupy the land. They do not own it. You are doing that place a favor. Flip it. Do they even know what private property is? Go flip that west. And they're still going west. Those folks in the Central District do not appreciate older construction houses. Those old houses are in disrepair. Crack and crime has destroyed that community. It needs a savior. Do they even know what crown molding is? Let's turn it into an urban oasis. Flip that house. Flip that neighborhood. Flip that city. You are doing that place a favor, beautifying it. Go west, young man. And of course, appropriately and predictably, West Seattle is next. There is no impactless growth. Forget love. Forget Pat Benatar, Nikita. Growth is always a battlefield. Back to this proposed growth out there in the Standing Rock homelands. There's this stupid lie that the Native people who are out there are against growth, just like there's a stupid lie that the black folks who are organizing against gentrification in the Central District are against growth, or the Asian folks who are organizing against gentrification within the international districts are against growth. That's dumb. Native people have always embraced change, adaptation, and acclimation, so long as it made sense with our value systems, integration and soulful. For example, when the horse was reintroduced to this continent, we didn't say, nah, these dogs are better to carry stuff. We said the two can coexist. Both of these animals are good. Both of them can be our friend. And we became prolific. We like growth. But we like growth that contemplates, not us, not contemplating us. That's self-centered. That's individualistic and short-sighted. In short, that's American. No, those folks who are out there fighting for these waterways in Standing Rock, South Dakota, or North Dakota, excuse me, they're not doing it for them. They're doing it for you. They're doing it for your babies. They're doing it for your mama. Say thank you, damn it. Tell those Native people thank you for seeing a picture that everybody else does not see, for showing that there is a different way than competition. They're taking the zero sum out of winning. Clean water is clean water, and it's Native people who are taking the lead to change this horribly defeatist economic way, changing the vision. And honestly, that's the only way that all of us win, with cooperation, not competition, not competitive attitudes. That's the only way that we have a future together. Thank you.